Okay, everyone, I am so excited to be introducing a special tool in this episode. I'm basically giving my rating and my reviews on it, and I'm really thrilled about it because honestly, it's pretty incredible and what it measures. The tool that I'm going to be talking about today is this guy. So, if you're listening on the podcast, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to know unless you watch the YouTube video. I'm just kidding. You'll be able to know. It's actually a KoreScale, but honestly, that's a sign. Like if you haven't watched my YouTubes yet, go ahead over there. I'll have the YouTube link down in the show notes for you to check out. Like this video, comment what your thoughts are. But all that aside, I am going to be talking about this KoreScale and why I'm so excited about it. Well, okay. Let me just give a little background first on why I got it in the first place. I was the type of person out of high school where my body image was really hard for me. I was obsessive with the scale every single day. I was like measuring, where I was at and like how many pounds should I lose. And it was not a healthy relationship when it came to weight scales. And so from a certain point on, I was like, never is pretty big, but I am going to do everything I can to never step on a scale ever again, unless I go to the doctors and they tell me to do it. But in my life, I'm like, I'm not going to do it because it's so unhealthy for me. I get obsessive and then I'm focused too much on it. And honestly, it's just more of a stress and not a good relationship. So I gave it up. Well, honestly, a few weeks ago, I started pondering it again. I watched a YouTube video on a girl that was talking about her scale and how it measured not only her weight, but her BMI. And I was always been fascinated with those because of the fact that they're just so cool. They can literally tell you where you're at when it comes to fat percentage, to muscle, and where your weight's at. And so I started diving deeper into it. And the one she recommended was all out. And I'm like, dang. So I'm like, there's got to be other ones out there. And so I did my research and came down to the KoreScale. And it's been top rated amongst so many different websites. And so I was like, I'm going to do it. And I knew doing it that there was the risk of me being obsessive over it, having an unhealthy relationship. And so what I told myself was the fact that I am doing this to know where I'm at, to be able to set attainable goals with actual numbers and metrics versus just guessing that, I think I'm good where I'm at, but I'm not sure. Because I'm really a person that wants to set goals but really wants to know how to get to that goal versus just, setting it and then going blind every single day, thinking that I'm trying to attain it without really knowing. And so using a weight scale was the key. And so I thought, okay, yes, there's that tendency in me to be able to go down that road where I get obsessive over it, but I'm not going to do that. This is going to be a healthy relationship, and I'm setting this tone. And honestly, it's going to be really good. It may hurt in the beginning based on what I read. It may not, but if it hurts, I can only go up from that point. And that I need to overcome that. I need to be uncomfortable. And I really have to just love and accept myself for where I'm at and continue to do so in that process of growth. And so I set that tone and I bought the scale and I'm so excited about it, guys. So why I chose the KoreScale is because first off, it beat every other scale when it comes to areas of measurement. And let me tell you what it measures. This list is long, so you might want to pause, write it down because it's pretty crazy, but awesome. So it measures BMI, so body mass index. So where are you at when it comes to your body fat percentage with your weight? Measures your heart rate, which is super important if you're into athleticism and being fit. Your heart rate is a key sign of where you're at when it comes to your fitness level. Body fat percentage, BMR, which is basic metabolic rate. So it literally can calculate, according to all the metrics, what you're probably burning just by being stagnant in one day when it comes to calories. Visceral fat, so it's around more of the core area. Protein, skeletal muscle, so how much of your weight is bone. Muscle mass, how much of your weight is muscle. And then bone mass as well. So honestly, the skeletal and the bone, I'm still a little confused on, and that I will get to later as to another point of my review. But all that to say, obviously this list is long, and I was sold because it beat all the other ones, because there's so many others where they only measured a few things. And knowing all these is where you can then see results. Like knowing that my body fat to muscle fat is this and this, I can then set goals to be like, okay, this is going to be a healthy goal where I'm going to decrease my body fat, increase my muscle percentage, and I can actually measure it every single day. That's the thing. I'm not guessing anymore. I can actually measure it. And honestly, it's going to give you a little bit of that dopamine rush because of the fact that you're seeing progress. And that's something that's huge when it comes to developing habits, is seeing the wins every single day. And when you see the wins, and even if you don't, but you start to see progress over time, that's when it becomes a habit. So fitness for me, it's going to be even more of a habit because I want to see how I can change my numbers. So after all of that huge list, I was like, okay, what else about this? Why am I choosing this one? It was reasonably priced compared to other scales. Now, it's not cheap by all means. It was $100. And it's also decent compared to many others that you could buy on the market. And it's still rated like top. You're able to track your metrics in an app. And then also the daily log. So if you are to weigh yourself and also do all the other metrics, allows you to see a graph with your progress, which is huge. Being able to see, where you're at, the ups and downs, and if you're making the progress that you're hoping to make, you can see that and it tracks it all. So when I got this bad boy, it was super nice because it has rubber bottoms. So it doesn't move when you get on it, which is nice. Something that you don't think about, but it's actually something that you value. It's a sleek design. Obviously, if you're looking on the YouTube channel, you can tell that it's a sleek design. And then also, when I got it, I then downloaded the app, which was very easy. Opened it up, very simple. I put in my metrics, I put in my name, my birth date, where I was at with just the basics that you know off the top of your head. And then it created me an account. And so then from there, I was easily able to connect it to the scale. There was no difficulties at all when it came to connection. Then I stepped on, and it literally, you click a button in your app saying, okay, you can start the process of gathering your metrics. And then there you had it. In my app, I can even pull it up if you want. I literally am able to look now of where I was at with all the charts. And so, awesome. But how does it work? You may think, okay, this sounds kind of like a scam, that is gathering all that data. And not gonna lie, that was another factor in my mind when I was trying to look for the best one on the market. Well, what it uses is BIA technology, which stands for bioelectric impedance analysis. It basically is running a small electrical current through your body, which runs into different bodily tissues. So think muscle, think fat, think bone. And all of those things, the muscle, fat, bone, all have varying amounts of water content. And as a result, they all differ in terms of electrical conductivity. Conductivity, yes, that's the word. So think about how, water has a different conduction rate than, let's think, rubber. So knowing all of that, it then sends that electrical current through, and it's able to determine, fat to bone to muscle and so on. So what I'm planning to do with this guy is to set actual goals around my fitness. Because I have these metrics, I can put a number to what I have and hope to achieve rather than just knowing my weight and not my actual muscle to fat ratio. So what were my results? I'm going to get a little personal with you guys. I'm not going to lie. I got it during the night, whatever. It was the evening, and I was like, I'm not going to go on this. I don't want to put myself in a bad mood because if my results are bad, the next morning, download the app. I was like, okay, whatever the results are, I need to have a positive outlook on this. And the fact that I can see progress and I can only go uphill from here, uphill in a good way. So I got on, And I just know that my weight is not what I used to be. I'm a lot heavier than like what I was. And for my height, like according to charts, it says I'm obese. However, when I got my metrics, it all like made sense. Like it was actually very, very encouraging because yes, my weight is higher than it should be for my height. However, my heart rate was rated good. My BMI, body mass index, is standard. So it's not even like, so they have different like metrics, and it could be like standard, it could be like really like not good, it could be like excellent. And then not only that, my body fat says I'm fit, which I'm at 26%. To me, I want to shave off a few percentage of that to maybe lower 20s. However, I need to remember, and for anyone listening, as a woman, we do need to have more fat than like normal, like than guys, because of the fact that we bear children and we need fat to bear children and be fertile. Subcutaneous fat, I was standard. I was at 24%. Visceral fat, so it's the fat along the organs, I was at standard, actually a low middle. So meaning that so there's standard, high, and exceeded, and I'm in the middle of standard. So almost like not, like I'm almost low on my visceral fat. And when it came to subcutaneous fat, I was literally right in the middle. There's low, standard, and high, and I was literally right in the middle of standard. Body water, I am at standard, so I'm about 50%, 50.2 specifically percent body water. Muscle mass, I'm adequate. So I've always been very muscular as a girl, and being shorter, like you could say I might be stocky to some, but I've just always been very muscular. And so there's inadequate, standard, and adequate, and I'm literally in the middle of the highest point of adequate. So I have quite a bit of muscle mass, 94.99 pounds of muscle mass, which makes sense, and it's why my body weight is higher than it should be for my height, because I just have a lot of muscle mass. Then bone mass, I was high on. So not only do I have a lot more muscle, which it weighs a lot, but I have a lot of bone mass as well. 6 pounds of bone mass. So that tacks on more poundage as to why my weight is higher. Protein, I'm at adequate with 17, when adequate is like the high end. So there's low, standard, and adequate. I was on the high end with adequate. Metabolic age is basically telling me I'm the age that I actually am. And so lean body, I have 100.9 pounds of lean body mass. And my muscle rate is 42.6. And then also the last one is my BMR, basic metabolic rate, is 1,359 calories. So that's how much I'm burning without exercise. So as you can tell, there's a lot of data here, super awesome, because it's giving me a snapshot of where I'm at, and I can see progress every single day, and I can tweak my fitness, I can tweak what I eat to see my metrics change. And I'm really excited, and I'm determined to make sure that it is a healthy relationship with the scale, with food, with fitness, and I don't become obsessive to the point of, beating myself up over why I'm not making certain goals or metrics or whatever. And all right, so that's a lot. Obviously, it's amazing. What could be improved with this scale? Well, as you could see, when I was going through each section of my current metrics, I purposely did not look into what each one meant, so then I could show you and demonstrate just how complicated it is without the fact that they don't have any tips, tricks, or explanation for each of those sections. Now, I'm going to be researching what each one means. Most of them I know, but there's a few where I'm like, protein, like what does that actually mean percentage wise? So I'm going to be looking into that. But for those that may have a hard time understanding all these metrics, the app doesn't explain that, which can make it a little bit difficult to fully understand what each metric means. It could be frustrating for some. And also I would love if they could give tips and tricks based off of what I was at or am at. to then allow me to like improve in different methods that I may not know how to improve on. Also, the shipping took a little bit of time, more than I thought. It was like over a week. And apparently they run out really quickly. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But overall, those are the only downfalls that I had, and they're not even that bad. So if you are the type of person that wants to improve your health with actual metrics, I highly, highly encourage so far this scale because of the fact of everything it measures, and it gives you a snapshot where you can then improve and you can implement different things into your life and actually see if it's working or not. That's the biggest thing, key performance indicators. How are you going to know that you're meeting your goal? Well, this scale can help you with that. So I highly encourage it. I have a link in the show notes for you all to click on. It'll take you directly to the Amazon page, which is my Amazon affiliate page. I'm trying this out. Just got the Amazon page set up. So go test it out. Click the link below. If you're interested, go ahead and buy it. I did also see when I looked on the Amazon, there is a scale with even higher ratings, not necessarily like more star ratings, like not a higher star rating, but way more actual ratings to get it to the star rating it's at. And that's like around $30. However, oftentimes like it could be good for what you need. And at the same time, like this one measures a lot and it's very accurate. And it's highly rated across the board outside of Amazon. So I will link the other one as well that you can click on and you can check it out and you can decide for yourself because it's your choice. I just wanted quality and to know that it was accurate and it wasn't going to fall apart like in a year. So I got the KoreScale. So I have both links in the show notes for you guys. If you haven't checked out the podcast episode on YouTube, I have the link as well down below. Go ahead, subscribe, like, send a comment as well if you thought you liked this and it was helpful. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Feel free to subscribe, share this with your friends. I hope to do more fitness and health metric and goals for improving your health. I like a lot of genetics. And genetics is amazing because it's literally a personalized snapshot of your body and where you should go from there based on your actual body. You're not guessing or anything like that. So check it all out. Share it with your friends. Anything is appreciated.